Hi, my name is Miguel. I'm a teacher at Prague Guitar Academy, and today we're going to talk about riffs. And we're going to talk about how to add variety to a riff without changing the riff. So I'm going to start ripping off a riff that you might recognize. And this riff is in the key of D minor, and I'm starting in the root note. Root note, major second, minor third. So how do I shift the riff to another position or another interval? I can start on a different shape. So this is D minor, but this is also D minor. So I'm going to start here. And if I play the sixth string, this is going to be the fifth. So instead of starting on the root note, I can start on the fifth. But let's say I want to play Aeolian mode. I need to adapt the riff, because if I play this way, this is going to be Dorian mode, because this is a major 6 and Aeolian has a minor 6. So I shift the starting point, but then I need to adapt the riff to the intervals that fit the scale that I'm playing. So in this case, after this one comes the minor 6 here, just half a step after, and then I have the minor 7th. So I adapt the riff. So I'm adapting the riff. I'm just moving the starting point, but I adapt the rest of the notes according to the scale I'm playing. And I can continue doing this. Let's say I'm going to move one interval below. Instead of starting on the fifth, I'm going to start on the fourth, which is this one. Now, we are still in the key of D minor. This is the fourth. So now, after the fourth, I have the fifth and the minor 6. So this is exactly the same shape as the original one. So I'm going to play both now. So that happens when you shift it, and you can do the same for other intervals. So now I'm going to do root note. I'm going to go to the fifth, back to the root, fourth, back to the root. And it sounds a lot better. It sounds like you're doing a lot of stuff when you actually, the only thing you're doing is you're shifting the same riff, you're moving it to a different position, and then a different position, and then a different position. So there are some things to consider when you do this, when you take this approach. And the first one is, what if you continue moving this? For instance, we move it to the fifth, then we move it to the fourth, then let's continue. I'm gonna move it. The next one would be the third. This is a minor third. We're still in the key of D minor. So it's root. And this is a minor third, which is this one. And if I'm shifted here, I have a problem. And the problem is the next note in the scale is this one here, the fourth. And the next one is the fifth, which is far away. So I have a whole step and a whole step here. It's not easy to play, it's far away. It's not the same vibe because it has a different shape. What I mean with that is this. When I started the riff here, whole step, half step, you know? One tone, one semitone. When I shifted it to the fifth, semitone, tone, half a step, whole step. When I shifted it to the fourth, whole step, half step. So it's very similar. I start on this note, 1, 2, 3, and this is the distance. So each note is 3 semitones apart, from beginning to end and from beginning to end. And the whole riff has the structure of whole step, half step, or the other way around. Half step, whole step, half step. That makes it have the same vibe. But when I moved it to the third, I had whole step and whole step, and that is a problem. Whole step, whole step. It doesn't sound the same, and it's harder to play. So what do you do in that case? You keep moving. So I'm gonna move to the second now. Open string. The next one in the scale will be here, just half a step after, and then the next one is the fourth. So I have second, third, fourth. Semitone, tone. Half a step, whole step. So if I play this one, now it sounds very similar. So I'm gonna play the whole thing now, from beginning to end. It's gonna start on the root note, we move to the fifth, we move to the fourth, and then we move to the second. So it sounds like this. So now go and try it yourself.